Hola amigos, bien o no, saludos otra vez desde Medellín, otro día bonito aquí. Hoy quiero compartir con ustedes una técnica que yo estoy utilizando para mejorar mi español. Y eso es para retomar algunas con mis conversaciones con los días pasados. So, ese es el tema de hoy. So, hello again, welcome back to our terrace here in Medellin, lovely sunny day. So today I'm going to share with you a technique I've been using recently to try and improve my Spanish. And this basically is a way of going back to conversations I've had in the last day or so. So very recent conversations I can remember fairly clearly. And thinking carefully about how I could have improved those conversations. So I'm picking something that's very recent and also something that clearly I do. So it's not something I have to really try and make up. It's something I've just done. So it's obviously a useful situation for me. And it doesn't need to be something very complicated. I'll give you an example. So yesterday I took the bus and went into town. Okay, not difficult, and it's true. I take the same bus into town several times a week. But then I thought, well, what if I didn't know where the bus was going? How do I check? That's what I've got out of practice of doing, because I've got used to knowing that this bus goes into town, so that's the bus I need. But it's not helping me practice, because I don't have to ask the driver, is this bus going into town? So my way of doing this is to think back to it and, okay, so let's think of a better dialogue I could have with the bus driver. In that case, it would be, could you tell me, is this bus going into town, or does this bus stop at this particular place? So that way I can practice what is actually a very useful question. Where is the bus going? Does it stop at this place? And you can add this into all sorts of even quite basic conversations. I stopped at a coffee shop yesterday while I was in town, and I just bought coffee and a cake like I usually do. Now, it's quite an easy thing to go for, because you can literally, I'll have one of those and one of those, please. But again, I could ask more questions when I'm in the shop, when I'm in the cafe. I could ask what other options they've got. I could ask them, do they have this? Do they have that? That's not to say that you necessarily need to do that in real life, but if you think back to the conversation you've just had a couple of hours ago, and you think of, how could I have said that better? It's a very easy way of revising, because you've just been there, so you know what you said, and you know what the other person said. So try it. I recommend you try it in this way. Pick the conversation. Go back to it. Think, okay, that's the situation. Think about what you would have liked to have said, ideally. And write that down. Don't think too hard about it. Write down your best effort at what that would be. What words would you need to say that? And only once you've had your first go at writing it down, then go back and check it. So don't look it up first. Get your mind in the habit of pick your first best go and then go back and correct it. Because that way, you're still training yourself to think directly in the language, and hopefully directly, fairly quickly in complete sentences for what you want to say. And this might help you understand where you're getting it wrong. Because if, like me, you sometimes get some of your words confused, and you remember back to my take 2 of the video yesterday, some of the words I thought was the correct word. That's the word I need in Spanish, and it wasn't that word. No, I picked a word that sounds like it, but wasn't really that word. So, if you make your first effort at rewriting the dialogue without reverting to the books or the dictionary, and then go back and effectively check your translation, I think you'll be surprised, because you might start to notice one or two of these words that you consistently get wrong but are perhaps not conscious of the error. And then that will help you, because it will show you, look, that's the word you keep getting wrong. And you think, well, why do I get that word wrong? And it's probably because it looks like the word you wanted but isn't quite that word. So that's my tip for the day. Have a think. Pick a conversation you had earlier today. Doesn't have to be complicated. Any conversation will do. And think, okay, what would be another way I could say that? What would be an ideal way for me to say that? Have a go at rewriting it. And once you get in the habit of doing this, you can pick 2 or 3 conversations you had the previous day, keep looking back and go, okay, well, how could I have said that better? It should start to show you if there are any words you get wrong consistently, then you can think, well, why am I getting that one wrong? Is it because I'm getting the maybe like the tense wrong, or I just really have badly memorized this word and I think it's this word and it really shouldn't be. So it should help you focus a bit more on maybe some of your mistakes, which will be easier and more obvious for you to fix. And as well as that, it'll help you hopefully think of new and better ways to say things. That's always a good thing. So that's the tip for today. I hope that's helpful. Déjame saber en los comentarios, and I'll see you next time. Cheerio for now.